Llori Sharpe Media. You know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks. We got lots of stuff coming up.
What's up and welcome. This is Llori Sharpe Jamaica Media. Let me get this bad boy out of the way. And once again, thank you for tuning in. Appreciate you. On the way in, please hit the like button. And if you haven't, please subscribe to the channel. We got some amazing news today. And as I am from where I am part of the Caribbean, so because Bermuda is not in the Caribbean, we are part of the Caribbean. And it's funny, that's a whole nother story. I'm not even going to get into that, but we, you know, my parents and my great grandparents and all that, so that they from the Caribbean. And Bob's your uncle. That's the way she goes. So anyway, we're going to talk about a young lady by the name of Llori Sharpe. She's from Jamaica, and she is breaking ground for Jamaica and Jamaicans, and in the world of cycling. So she will be, she has joined Sharpe Canyon, I believe it's Sharpe Canyon. And in 2022, she actually went over to Europe from Jamaica. And I'm going to read her story because it's a really interesting story. And she touches on a lot of the stuff that it's really very common in the Caribbean and stuff. So, excuse me. So let's get into this. So firstly, we got some, this is Llori Sharpe. So I just wanted to let you see who she is. She looks like she's going to be an amazing young lady, and she's listed herself as a climber. Just going through a couple pics of her on the bike. So there's another young lady, Teniel Campbell from Trinidad. So she doesn't look as tall as Teniel. She looks more like pint size, and she lists herself as a climber. She's got the climber body. Her bike looks like it's about it's definitely a small, so around the 50-52 size. And it's another picture of her on the bike. It looks like her with the rest of the Shram girls. So she gets to wear her Jamaica national champion jersey. So they have two national champions, I believe, in their team. And the other one is from Paraguay. And here's the team photo. Everybody in the Kenyan kit looking amazing. She is definitely looks like she can go uphill quickly. And her with her bike. Another amazing picture. So things go well. I just might get a chance to talk to her and do a little interview sometime in 2024. We see how things go. Fingers crossed and all goes well. So let's this deep dive into her story. I almost forgot where I put it there for a second. Where are we? There we go. So Jamaica's first pro cyclist, an interview with Llori Sharpe. So let's just deep dive into this really quickly. So that's Llori there on the bike, obviously going really fast. Not quite sure if that's Jamaica or if that's in Europe somewhere, because both places are. I believe the Sharpe camp is in near Switzerland or somewhere like that, and those places are really green, so you can't tell. So both places are really green. And this story comes from the Global Peloton. So if you are seeing this, make sure you subscribe to the Global Peloton. And it's a great publication. They bring up a lot of like really good stories. And just subscribe to them. So I just did it right now. I didn't get a chance to do the paid subscription. So I'm going to do that right after I do this. Right after I finish, bringing this story. So 23 years old. That's how old she is. Llori Sharpe is blazing a trail. Sharpe is the first Jamaican cyclist, male or female, to ride for UCI road team. She has spent the past 2 years racing for Kenyan Shram Generation, a team set up to help talented female athletes from diverse backgrounds reach the top professional cycling and to help them break new ground for their future and for the future of cycling, according to the team's website. You can click on that afterwards and check it out. Sharpe began her sporting career as a swimmer, racing competitively in the pool between the ages of 7 and 15. Her swim coach advised her to try a triathlon, but after she put in some solid 5K run times, her dad brought her a bike and she started training with the national cycling coach on the road. Sharpe competed for her country on several occasions as a teenager before making a switch to cycling full time in 2020. She developed a knee injury sharp to the global peloton, and so running was severely inhibited, but cycling was something she could always do. Her knee injury wasn't aggravated when she was cycling, which is what I tell most people who have knee issues ride a bike. Sharp found a new freedom on the bike. She enjoyed the training much more than being in the pool. I really started disliking swimming so much. Training was getting super boring, just staring at a black line going up and down. So the black line, I don't know if you're not familiar, swimming is just the line that runs from one end of the pool to the other at the bottom of the pool. So so that the swimmers could swim in the right direction, so they don't go off course over. Of course, just being able to ride through so many new places on a bike and see so many things that pushed my love for cycling even more. Sharpe began competing as a cyclist when Kenyon SRAM launched the development program. Kenyon SRAM Generations, Kenyon SRAM Generation. She was one of many applicants for the first year. Sharpe got a place on the team and made the move to Europe for the 2022 season. Kenyon SRAM Generation provided a most unique opportunity for riders from lesser represented cycling nations like Jamaica to have a chance to progress in the sport. There is no easy natural pathway for Jamaican riders or any Caribbean riders to make their way up the ranks. A team that is proactive in giving opportunities to those from small nations is a good send for riders like Sharpe. Is a godsend for riders like Sharpe. Cycling in Jamaica is predominantly recreational, and I am one of the few competitive athletes there, especially on the girls' side. It's really just me, and we have our track cyclists and other competitive cyclists, our junior girls, just two. And these notifications are all of a sudden they're coming through where before. There's really not much going on in terms of having something of a stepping stone to go from Jamaica to. There's really nothing going on terms of having something of a stepping stone to go from Jamaica to making the transition to European cycling. So I was really grateful for the opportunity with Kenyon SRAM Generation because they provided that sort of trajectory into the European peloton. In Jamaica and in the Caribbean on the whole, we probably do more work in seeing how we can best provide we could probably do more work in seeing how we could provide a pathway for cyclists to transition into the professional ranks. Cycling in Jamaica is more widely. Cycling in Jamaica and more widely in the Caribbean has a long way to go to be seriously competitive in the sport at a top level. But there are green shoots of promise rising up. One of the junior women Sharpe mentioned, Melaika Russell, finished second in the time trial in the women's road race at a recent Junior Caribbean Championships. Also, there are more Caribbean cyclists in the UCI now than ever before, including the likes of Teniel Campbell from Trinidad and Tobago, she rides for Jayco AlUla, and Abner Gonzalez from Puerto Rico, who rides for Movistar. That's three. That's not a lot more. That's just three. We still got a ways to go. Adapting to European racing. So let's hear our story as because it's obviously something different and something new. But here we go. It is not possible to compare racing in Jamaica and the Caribbean to Europe. The peloton size, race tactics, terrain, ability levels, and so many other factors are so alien for riders making the transition to Europe. These riders don't have high level junior racing or under 23 or an under 23 calendar where they can hone their craft. Young talented riders like Sharpe have a steep learning curve when they start racing in Europe. She feels as though she has made the steps in the right directions over the last 2 years, but it's going slower than she'd like to at times. I think I've progressed, honestly, coming from the Caribbean, coming from Jamaica. There isn't really much going on in terms of development and race readiness per se. So it was definitely a difficult transition to the European peloton. I think I was able to settle over the course of a couple of years. Of course, there were times where I felt like my performance was poor. I really wanted to prove myself and prove to myself and to the team that I do in fact deserve to be here. I'm definitely pleased with the progress that I've made over the couple of years, and I can only hope to make more progress in the years to come. I came here like a complete blank slate. I was just soaking up as much as I could, learning as much as I could from more experienced riders from the DS's director sportif and any staff member who's willing to help and teach. When speaking to riders like Sharpe who have come from cycling scenes with smaller pelotons, there's a common answer to the question of what's needed to improve most when coming to Europe. And she stated that positioning, that's the first thing, because she was very timid in the beginning. It took her a while to learn how to maneuver her way to the front. So when she was in the groups, so that can be a bit daunting because the groups tend to be close together. The roads tend to be narrow. So moving up, you have to, because the handlebars are really close. So it does take some confidence. So if it's something that you haven't done before, yeah, it does take some getting used to. She said the first thing that was very timid, it took me a while to maneuver way to the front. Not always at the front, even just mid-pack, it took her a while. But she was able to gain that confidence. Not just positioning, but descending as well, because the road surface in Jamaica isn't ideal in most areas. So sometimes it can be scary to go downhill. So I brought that sort of fear when I came here. But with practice, of course, she said she was able to gain confidence to descend better. There's still a long way to go for Sharpe and riders like her. There's still a long way to go for Sharpe and riders like her. But the Jamaican climate is keeping things in perspective. And as the cliche goes, trust the process. She says she's still working on being patient with herself because she's come to realize that sometimes she can be wanting results now by failing to recognize that it's a journey. You can only really make progress when you make the simple steps. That's just how growth occurs. Just those simple steps, day in and day out, then you can make more progress. So that's... Come back. Where am my screen? There we are. So that's Llori. And we're going to wish her luck. Yeah, she doesn't seem like she needs luck. She seems like she's a young lady who's like on the right path, knows what she wants. She's obviously in Europe because she's in Europe because she's talented. You know, you don't get those opportunities and those chances just because people feel like, okay, well, we'll give you a shot. So she's got some talent, and I'm pretty sure we're gonna see some amazing things from her. And I just hope that I get to bump into her and maybe get like an interview or show a quick word with her. And I'm pretty sure that if I do, that I'll be a welcome face, someone that speaks similar similar dialect, and that can definitely relate to her situation and stuff. So, but yeah, like, you know, she's talking about like the roads and the stuff in the Caribbean. That is just basically on every island, even in Bermuda where I'm from, where most of the roads in Bermuda are actually pretty good. The bad thing in Bermuda is the traffic has increased. It's crazy. The traffic didn't used to be like it is today. And I remember when I would go for my training rides, I can pretty much comfortably ride the whole day without being bombarded by traffic. But now, every person, like before, because I remember when I was coming up, when I just started riding in Bermuda, there was a rule. There was one car per household, and Bermuda's only 21 square miles. So now they've gotten rid of that rule, and people can have 2-3 cars in the household now, which is crazy for such a small island. And like the infrastructure is not really built like to handle like tons and tons and tons of cars. So now it's not a nice place to train. It's a beautiful place to visit, definitely, but it's not conducive for developing, top cyclists. Bermuda has, I say we, but Bermuda has a few cyclists. One cyclist in Europe, his name is Caden, and a couple other kids. But it's weird. I've mixed feelings about that. I'll get into that later. I'm not going to mince my words. I'm going to talk about it as I see it and how it goes. But it's good to see Llori doing her thing for Team Kenyan. So I'm going to wish her the best of luck. And all the other young ladies like Aisha McGowan, like Teniel Campbell, and anyone else that's coming through. So it's looking like, looking promising for the ladies of the Caribbean. And yeah, we just need to get some young men from the Caribbean to represent. But as she stated, it's just getting the opportunity, and which is something that I'm working on, and something that's the whole point of my development camp that I want to bring along. So the kids that I see that are doing well, they may be finishing 10, 12, 14, 15, just bring them over and just drop them in. So because that's what they're missing, just that competition, just this, having that atmosphere, having getting in a race where, like if even in Bermuda or any of the other Caribbeans, if you have a like the race on the weekend, so if you have like 60 guys to show up, maybe 5 of them will be juniors, and and that's what you're racing at. That's what the juniors deal with, like every week. They only got like 2 or 3 other people to race against sometimes, and in some categories, some kids they have no one to race against. So they just don't have competition. So that when they do get to the senior and elite levels, and they go race against other people from around the world, it's really daunting. So that's my dream. That's the whole mission of Say With Your Legs Media, is to in a year or two, hopefully, things are going as planned, and now we get to that point where we're able to open up the youth academy and bring kids over to Europe, and just let them, so they can have a real chance at being competitive and actually enjoying the sport. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. This has been Ines Luby, went a little bit longer than I would like to. And this is Llori. Let's say you see her name again. Oops, wrong one. There we go, Llori Sharpe. And yeah, I think she's going to do some amazing things. So let's just a couple more. There she is, her and her bike, her and her team, her on her bike in front of her team. And that, I can't tell if, no, that's Europe. That's definitely Europe. The painted line on the right gives it away. That's definitely somewhere in Europe. And there she is. Anyway, that's it. My name is Ines Luby. This has been Llori Sharpe, and we're just gonna keep, just look out for 2024 and see how she does. And it'll just be nice to see, not putting any expectations on her, because it's a hard sport to get into, and like she was saying in the interview, it is a learning curve. And once she gets there, I'm a bit between the teeth. We never know. So anyway, I'm gonna be out. Hope you enjoyed that, and until the next story.
Say With Your Legs Media, you know what to do. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Thanks. We got lots of stuff coming up.